Chat, it is another day that we're back with the shenanigans and obviously the new series, which is like journal part 2. So if you guys didn't get to watch the last one, basically it was given a rundown of the situation that I'm currently in, and it's the same as journal 1. If you weren't here for journal entries number 1, you missed out. I'm not gonna lie, I had like 30, or no, not 30, 80 journal entries. So that's 80 days with skipping the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So you do the math. I'm not gonna do it. It was basically half a year worth of time. And yeah, we're starting with journal number 2, I guess. This is a year or two later, I think. I think it's 2 years later. Basically, I succeeded in all the goals that I wanted for myself previously, but I did notice I was getting complacent with how I was moving through life. So something had to change. So I got rid of my Tesla. I basically stopped trading, and I'm restarting fresh, kinda ish. Funny enough, when I made that video, I had it sitting in my like archive waiting to be posted. And Toji actually had came out with a video of him saying the same thing that I was thinking, where he was like, I'm getting complacent, I have too much money. I mean, obviously I don't have too much money. I don't think that's even a thing, but he was saying I have too much money, I'm bored, like I need to get that college kid hunger again. And like, bro, I resonated with that. I actually left a comment in that section. But basically, I'm in the same situation that Toyi is, but it's in a less major scale, and it's more of instead of me doing day trading, I've now started some side businesses that I'm hoping can run up some money for me before I make this big transition in my life that I'm thinking of at the age of 21. So obviously it's a new age. It'll be a lot to get into, a lot to adapt to, but I'm pretty excited for it because, like I said, I have a lot planned. It might not go according to plan, but hopefully it does, and I'm gonna make a video on that probably, saying like what my goals are for next year and all that stuff, like how I did last year. But I think I made that video and it got corrupted, so I'm gonna have to refilm the entire 2 hour long video, which sucks, but you can't stop it. But what I was trying to say, which I'm gonna post on my story anyways today, is if you're not tuning in for this, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know when the next journal entry will be. Maybe in 3 years, 4 years, I don't know. Probably when I get bored, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. So yeah, to start it off for today, how am I feeling? Optimistic, for sure. A little excited. I think I have a way of making my money up. Let me say it like that. I do have some sales that I have to make. Some things I have to move a little bit. What I've started to notice is the biggest problem that I'm having with these businesses is cash up front for the product. So in order to get the item shipped out, get the item itself and all that kind of stuff, with multiple business types, it's not just the one, but I'm having a problem with having the funding up front for it. It's more of me having, like, I'm getting the sales, usually I'm getting the sales, but getting the money to get the product to the person is the problem, or to get the product in the first place is the problem. So I'm gonna have to find a way around that without getting a 9 to 5. How? I don't know. It's probably going to be through like flipping until I have like a few $1,000s just sitting back. But that's going to take me a minute until I get my hands on a car. And if I get my hands on a car, I know I could flip it to a few like 10 bands, 20 bands, 40 bands. I would kind of say the skill set that I've raised over the past few years is more of like, it's not for the high end scale. It's more of like, I'm broke, I need to get from 0 to 100K kind of thing. So it's not like from 100,000 to a mil type skill set. It's more of a, I need to get to 100K real quick within a year. How can I do it? And that comes from me, like, my father teaching me how to, like, flip and make $1 out of 15 cents, if you guys don't know that terminology. But basically it's literally the saying itself. You have 15 cent, you're able to flip that up to $1 by buying product, selling product, buying product, selling product. And the product can be anything, varying from vehicles to illegal substances, which I'm not touching, but to vehicles and clothing to electronics and stuff like that. And that's how I made my first bulk sum of money back in the day. It was through flipping all my gaming stuff that I had got for like Christmas and stuff like that that I didn't play anymore, like 10 years ago. Not 10 years ago, it was probably what, like 7 years ago or something like that. But yeah, that's my major skill set that I currently have. I'm a salesman at heart. I don't like doing sales. So it's, yeah. I couldn't work a corporate job where I did like, hey, did you know this roofing plan only costs you 100,000? Like, I couldn't do that. I don't know why, but it's just not in my vernacular to sit down and talk to somebody for a long period of time and get no slammed in my face 50 gajillion times, even though I do it online. I would rather make that money online than make it in person, if that makes sense. And the reason I'm trying to get to online business with all my different business models is because I know straight up, if I can get that money online, I can take it anywhere in the world. And that is the goal. I obviously don't want to stay in America, not just because of the whole politics stuff that's going on now, but also for later down the road, whenever I do feel like starting a family and all that stuff. I don't want to be in America. I'll be real with you. And that is a part of my big plan within the next year or two, building up towards that. And I have been saying for a bit now that I've been wanting to move to like Utah or something like that. And then once again, with what happened in the United States, I'm kind of like, what's going on? I'm not really jacking it all too much. Trading isn't looking too good. I mean, I guess, semi-professional at trading at this point, so it's not that the news is really bothering me. I just don't like market conditions. And I'm not liking how highly volatile it is because Powell's saying stuff that's blowing the market in one direction, and Trump is saying stuff that's blowing the market in the other direction. And all these other different politics things are causing the market to go like this. Like, it's been super choppy some days. Other days it's big wins, but I don't have the patience and the mental capacity right now to just sit down and let that happen. So trading is not currently in my game plan. It is something that I will continue doing later on, but definitely not something currently. I see trading as more of like a multiplication tool than it is a money building tool currently. And that's because it takes capital to make capital. And currently I don't have the large enough capital to start effectively trading. Let me put it like that. Obviously, you could start trading at any kind of money, but for me to make the dividends I'm trying to make and build the portfolio that I'm trying to have, it's going to take a little bit more. I'm going to need like at minimum 10K. And like I told you guys, I already have a plan for that. And I guess I do have some skill sets that I have been building over the past few years to build my revenue to that 100,000 mark. And that's what I'm really looking for in hindsight. But to be fair, as I've matured, I feel as if my goals have also matured. And it's no longer I want to be a millionaire, I want to be super duper successful. It's more of building a legacy and taking off and being stable, if that makes sense. Like, just basically having complete freedom of my time at any time. So I could be in Jabim one day, my family were kicked up, Range Rovers, driving, cool, chilling. I know that money is a big tool for that. Obviously, I'm not neglecting money. That's the main focus as of now, that and informing myself. But yeah, I do want to go ahead and have it to where I can press a button or two, make a little bit of money. Sorry about all the background noise. Everybody in the house is waking up, but be able to take some money and move it. So what I've started to notice is if I go ahead and make this business plan that I have where I'm making $1 out of 15 cents over and over and over and over and over. And then I'm able to get into the car market, which you guys know I'm a mechanic. That was a skill set that I picked up recently. So I do repair cars. I can do that. It's not hard for me. Repair vehicles, flip those vehicles, make a few $1,000s profit on them vehicles. Rinse and repeat. And if you guys do not know, back when I recorded my first few journal entries, I'd say like around the 40th journal mark in that area, that is when I first ever started selling cars at a large rate. I think that year alone in GTA, I had like 10 cars. And I'm talking about like, I only had one garage. We lived in an apartment. I had two Lexuses and like the rest just Nissan Altimas and like Nissan Sentras and like Toyota Camry. Like I had so many cars, it wasn't funny. And obviously I didn't have them all at one time. It was more of like I'd buy one, I'd sell one, I'd buy one, I'd sell one, I'd buy one, I'd sell one, I'd buy one, and I kept doing that and I kept running it up. And I'm gonna be real, I think I made about 20 grand. Where that money went, I don't know, but in profit, straight up, I think I made like 12K profit. Like I said, that 12K profit, where did it go? Probably to buying my Lexus, which ran me about 4 bands. Gas bills, things of that nature. Because at the time, my parents did hit me with or my dad at least, hit me with yeah, you're going to be paying your own phone bill now. So that was an expense. Then I was paying some rent. Then I was paying for food. Then I was paying for supplements. So then I was paying for transportation and gas. Then I was paying for car modifications. So, and a garage. So yeah, those payments racked up, and that 12K was basically just mess around money. And obviously, I wasn't smart with my money all too much. Some of the money I did reinvest into my stocks and other business ideas that I had. I had tried drop shipping at the time, so about 2 to 3K went into drop shipping. I didn't make shit. I'll never do drop shipping through the way that they were telling me, like Shopify. That the ads and all that, it was not it, bro. And you're probably thinking you just didn't have a winning product. I don't care. It wasn't worth it. Matter of fact, I had somebody that's a big influencer in the space actually recently text me asking me if I wanted to do Shopify, and I hit his ass with a hell no. He was trying to like convince me, and I was like, nah, bro, I'm good. I forgot his name. He has like 100,000 followers, but yeah, he had hit me up, and I told him my reasoning. I told him nah, but basically what I'm trying to get at here is the whole flipping products kind of thing. The skill that I've literally mastered at this point, like I can flip any and everything. It's just a matter of time. And most of the problem with that flipping was the time in between the sale. So I would buy a car for 1,000, flip it for 5K, 4K, 6K, depending on the condition. And the only problem was I had to wait in downtime. I think the longest it took for me to sell a car was the one that I had listed for about 6,000 that had a leaky transmission problem. So it was like, it wasn't the transmission was leaking, but it was a slip in the transmission because the trans fluid was leaking from one of the hoses in the car's bay. So that one I was selling for like 6,000. I had bought it for 2, and it took me about 3 months to sell. But once I sold it, I was gone. I was good, Gucci, cool. That was a cool 4K profit. I ran that up. And yeah, I think I'm trying to get back into that kind of mindset again. And recently, I did purchase a few items that I will be reselling to kind of kickstart my stuff, and that did kind of affect me. I'm not gonna lie, it did hurt my pockets. Ran me about 400 and something dollars, which I had like $1,000 worth of budget. I had to turn my phone back on and all that stuff. It was off for like 24 hours. It was no craziness. I forgot to pay my bill because my card, I had a whole dispute case I had to open up in my card, and I had to get it redone, so I forgot to re-register it and all that stuff. So my phone went overdue. I bought it, paid it off. That was like 300 and something bucks. That was my 700 right there. Then I had to pay some rent. That was the rest of the money. Plus some of the money that I had in cash from that $1,000 portfolio. It was just a lot. So It ran me deep, I'm not gonna lie. And then I had a dispute with one of my clients, or buyers, supporters. I don't know what you would call them, but one of my buyers on my Depop page came up with a dispute because one of the items was lost in transit, which is understandable. So I gave him his refund. Um, once we got the refund taken care of, that was like 120 something that got taken out of my account. Once again, it pushed me back a lot. And if you guys don't know from the first video, like I said, my credit cards are cooked, all of them. So there is a lot that I kind of have to balance. I think if I made like 4 grand, I'd be in the clear for everything. Like, don't get it mistaken. I'm not like high in debt or anything like that. And I would rather use the cards to make money like I've been doing than use the cards to buy like luxury goods. I haven't bought shit. Nothing super luxury, nothing super crazy. All those credit cards were used in good faith and good usage, I guess. So I'm not too mad at it. Like I said, 4 grand would literally cover every single one of my bills and every single one of my things, which is very doable for me. It's just a matter of time, once again. And when it comes to consistent income, I would say my Depop, Macari, and Facebook Marketplace are probably my most consistent incomes right now. Actually, take out Facebook Marketplace. It's not consistent enough because I don't have enough products listed, and the products that I do have listed aren't selling. So, yeah. And that's why I'm saying today I'm actually supposed to sell this Xbox that I picked up a few days ago. That was a quick little $100 flip. The dude negotiated me down, so I think it's like a $50 flip, but I get to keep the box for it. Now, I'm gonna put you guys on game real quick, right? This is kind of scummy, but hey. So, you buy an Xbox Series S or X or PlayStation or any kind of console. I've been doing this since, like I said, I was 14. And when you buy those, you clean them. Like, I know how to tear apart or not an engine. I know how to tear apart a console pretty well, clean it, get it brand new, pretty much. So refurbish them. If you know how to do that and you're a real techie kind of guy, it's a great little hobby to get into. You just tear it apart, clean it, wash it, we'll do whatever you got to do to it. Make sure the shell looks good, and you sell it as brand new. Yeah, so I bought it for 150, sold for 200 possibly today, within the next 30 minutes or so, but he's not responding, so I don't know. I'm cool with keeping it because I know I could sell it. I have it listed for like 275 right now. And I've been getting some offers, and you know if you have it listed for the right price if you're barely getting offers. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but if you're getting like one offer per 4 days, like, you're good. If you're getting like 6 offers in the first day, it's rather they're bots or you listed it way too low. So you need to crank up that price, or you got to go with the demand in the market. If the demand in the market is very low, you're going to want to lower your price. But in my case, I know it's school time. Students are going to be in school. You have to know your market. That's 101 with selling anything. Matter of fact, on Depop, I've recently started selling all my backpacks because you guys know I'm a backpack connoisseur. I had 5 backpacks: a Star backpack, a JanSport backpack, a Scooby-Doo backpack, an Army backpack, and my basketball backpack. And now I have a red backpack that's sitting right beside me. And I'm probably going to list that today sometime. But yeah, know your market, know the time of the year, know what sells. So around school time, obviously backpacks are gonna sell. Kids want cool backpacks. If I had spray ground backpacks and stuff like that, I would be flipping the hell out of those right now. But I can't get them for cheap right now, reliably. That's the problem. For, I think I've sold 3 out of the 5 backpacks already. Yeah, because I still have the military back. No, I sold 2 out of the 5 because I still have the Star military in the red. But like I said, my whole plan to make all this stuff work is flipping. Now, the problem is going to be later on when I'm planning on maybe moving or going somewhere outside of the country or something like that. The game plan is to do online sales, right? My question is, and this is why I'm doing research on it, how will it be affected, my business that is, I'm talking about like Facebook. I already know that's gonna slow all the way the hell down. That might go extinct, matter of fact. So it's just gonna be Depop, Macari, Poshmark, eBay, which I'm cool with that. But eBay is so scummy. I fucking hate eBay. But it's gonna be those markets, and I'm wondering how it will be affected if I go overseas. What's the taxes looking like? What will the Trump tariffs look like? Like all this different stuff. I have to take into account. Once again, as a business owner, you have to know these things. How will I be able to source products? Which I don't feel like sourcing is a problem at all. I always find loopholes and find ways to source a product. It's just a matter of time. And these are things I'm kind of having to consider. Is there a way that I can get in touch with a warehouse? Is there a way I can get a supply through the warehouse? What are the numbers looking for in a bulk haul? I know there's like super particular words for that, but I don't know it off the rip of my head. But yeah, what is the bulk haul looking like in purchase? What's the delay on the shipments? What is like once I start scaling this stuff up, it should be explosive. Like it should be so good that I'm making like a few $1,000s per week. And I had my first ever taste of that a few weeks ago when I made 1,000 in like 3 days. And that was the first pivotal point for me in a minute of where I was like, okay, day trading is not the only way to make money out here. Running a business and like a clothing kind of thing, like it can happen. So the only dilemma that I think I'm running into now is, let's think of percentages real quick, because I love mathematics. That's why I got into trading and all that stuff, right? Let's think of percentages real quick. If I have 100 items sold, or if I have 100 items listed on my store, correct? And let's say I get one sale per 10 days. The percentage on that is 10%, right? So 10% of my items sell in what? 100 days, I guess. I don't know the math around that. I'm confusing myself. Let's say we sell 10 items in 1 month. So that means I sell 10% of my stock in a month. If I multiply that by 10, I'm selling 100 items out of my 1,000. That's still 10%, but I'm making exponentially more money. So what I believe is going to be the method or the strategy that I'm going to have to go with is buy in numbers, not in quality. Now, I know that's very contradictive of what you're taught. Usually it's quality over quantity. But what I'm starting to notice is the weird pieces are starting to sell. The things I don't believe are going to sell. And once again, the only problem right now is I don't have the storage. If I move this mirror right here, I can stack about 6 bins, like 25-gallon bins. Right here on my wall, you guys can't see it, but I have huge empty space. I could stack 2 bins side by side and stack 6 more bins. So I have the space, kinda. It's just a matter of managing that inventory, and do I want all of that in my room? Kinda no. But do I have a problem with it? No, because I'm making bread. I don't care. So obviously that's going to cost me a lot of money to have like, what was that, 6, 12, 18 bins in my room. Because I think for 6 of them, it costs like 100. So it'll cost me about $300. And then obviously the hauls themselves will cost me a few $100s. But the items being sold, I can list my items for cheaper. I can get more sold, yada, yada, yada. That's the first step of this plan. The first step of this plan is to get my shops making consistent money again. Because when I first started selling on Depop, my sales were going pretty damn well. I'm at 50 sales right now, and it was very consistent. I was making 3 items sales a day, 2 items, 1 item, 3 items. At minimum a day, I was making 1 item sale. My best day, I think I made 5 items sold in 1 day. And now it's gotten to the point of where I'm having to move smarter because I know I'm not getting that new seller boost. So a lot of my items I'm pricing at about 20% off and stuff like that for the older inventory to get that out of the way. For more expensive items, I'm listing the prices higher and marking them down a certain percentage and chopping that up. So that's something I'm still working on. Something else I need to work on is listing my items on eBay. That's going to take flipping forever, but maybe eventually I'll get to it. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't like eBay. But Mercari, I have like my luxury goods and my more expensive items listed on there for the stuff that I don't really care if they sell. It's like really, really random stuff like luxury wallets I used to have and stuff like that. And they do sell. They do sell. It just takes them long as hell. I'm not gonna lie to you. So that's what Macari is basically used for. Poshmark, I don't touch that thing with a 15-foot pole. eBay, like I said, I have to kind of get used to the whole thing. The reason I don't like eBay is, first of all, a lot of scammers are on there, and I'm talking about buyers. Buyers will buy your product and then say they don't receive it. I don't know why they do that, but any item over $100, they do that. Number two, I think I listed a Pokemon card on there, a super rare Pokemon card I had years ago, and I listed it on there last year or the beginning of this year. Somebody bought it. They held it. Yeah, they held it at like the eBay facility for a week, trying to inspect it, saying, "Hey, did you know there was water damage on this card? No dip, dick." I had let the buyer know and all that. He was like, "Yeah, it's cool." He took it. Um, Boom, bang, sale made. But to get your funds, it takes about like 2 weeks. That's a little too long for me. I don't have reoccurring revenue. Remember, these businesses is the only form of money that I'm making. So, and that's why I'm trying to, it's like a challenge to me and I like it. But it is causing me problems. The problems that it's causing me is I'm behind on certain bills because I can't afford to pay the items and things. So once I get over that dilemma, the business will be very profitable for me and I'll be making enough money to live sufficiently with no problems, no debt. Like, that's the goal. And I know to get to that, I have to what's the word for it? Once I get to that $1,500 mark, I'm green, golden, cash machine. And I know I'm green. I know I'm green. And the reason I say that is because once I get to that 1.5 and I'm able to buy a vehicle, it's over. I'm going to run the hell out of that paper. Like, I'm going to make about 20 bands in like 3 months. I can mark my words on that. And I like to sell cheap cars. I don't like to sell expensive cars. I have the chance to buy like, I could buy a scat pack for maybe 20K with a rebuilt title, rinse the title, and clean title it, listed for 50 if I really wanted to. But those are what I call hot cars. Hot cars are those kind of cars that are likely to get stolen, likely to get damaged, likely to have problems. And if they're a rebuilt title, that is a hot car. I'm not taking that car unless I get it for a damn good deal. And in the case of a scat pack, 20K is kind of pushing it. I'd have to get it for like 15. 15 and I'd buy it. But you guys kind of see how my mind is going with this. So to recap on everything we talked about, pretty much, me feeling optimistic, it's because I know these business models can be very explosive. And when I say explosive, I mean very beneficial to my finances because they're going to blow up insanely. So if I can get them built the correct way, it will get to the point of where I'm making so much consistent money that I won't have to worry about ever getting a job again because I'll be making consistent revenue. Like don't get me wrong, I've been making consistent revenue. It's not as consistent as I want it to be. I'm looking to make a few sales a day for $30 minimum every single day. $30 minimum for a month. That's pushing me about $900 in that month. That's Gucci. That's cool. I'm chilling. That's all I really need to be good for the most part. And that's just from Depop. If I'm able to make that kind of money, then I'll be able to go on like Facebook while making that $30 still. That's still a thing. Or that $900 a month. Go on Facebook, sell a few items, make a few $100s on there, add that to the pile. eBay sells a few things, add that to the pile. Like, I want it to be so split up that if one of them go down, I still have three and I can build another empire off the side, like, if that makes sense. And all of these are going to be my financial pillars to start building, or no, this is going to be my financial foundation to start building. No, it is my pillars, because the foundation was the knowledge. The pillars are more of like the eBay, the Posh, and all that stuff. That's the eBay. Yeah, it's holding up the top of the roof. And the roof would be like selling cars, flipping cars, making a dealership, getting the dealership to a point of where I don't have to mess with it anymore and it's all automated. And now I'm just making 20 bands, 30 bands a month, just flowing that money in. Obviously the dealership thing, I'm gonna have to learn a lot before I even touch that. There's got to be a way to avoid taxes on that somehow, legally, of course. But there's got to be a way to avoid taxes, because I know you're going to be taxed like crazy. I'm pretty sure you'll also need a dealer license, which shouldn't be too hard to obtain. Some few other stuff, but I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. But that's the game plan, basically. So episode 2 is going to be the game plan. And yeah, what do I have planned for today? It can go one of two ways. First way, and this is why I also like the lifestyle that I'm living currently. First way is I sell this Xbox, I get that money, I cash it in, I make some money moves, I make about another $200, I'm good for $400 today. I make that $400 today, I go ahead and pay off some bills, pay off some stuff. I'm Gucci, I'm cool, I'm clean until next month. But if that doesn't happen, then what I'm going to do is probably crank 90s on Fortnite, go to the pool, hit my cardio for today, and see if there's a way that I can kind of run up this money still. But I'm very confident that this sale will go through, possibly. If not, once again, that's all good. I know it's just a matter of time, and I'm probably going to make more money later on than I would have made with this purchase, so... But if this does not work, then I have to look into other streams of income that I can make. But the main thing that I'm worried about today is getting the money to ship out an order that I've had lingering in limbo for the past 2 days. So what I'm going to have to do with that most likely is get the shipping label and ship them off like a little gift, like a bag of clothes, like a clothing item or something like that for free, and tell them the whole rundown and be like, hey, I'm sending you your label. I'm using my own tracking for the other item. I will go ahead and send you that tracking number now. Send them the tracking number and say, I'm sending you a free gift with the mailer. So be looking for that. The item will be on its way soon. And hopefully they don't get mad and they leave a good review. I think that's a W plan, but that's probably the plan today. And like I said, just hit some cardio, turn it up, drink a lot of water, play some video games if they don't sell the console today, which I need to text him right after this video because it is now 9:49. So that's the vibes on that. I just cut my hair a little bit this morning. As you can see, I cut my beard. Don't worry about this little bump. It's going to go away soon. But I just cut my beard and my hair and everything, so I'm chilling off of that. Yeah, not that bad. Easy little game plan. I guess I'll check you guys tomorrow for an update to show you guys how everything's going. But as of right now, my life is going to be very boring because there's nothing going on besides me setting up my businesses. So you kind of got to bear with me. It's like the beginning stages of my last vlogs. Besides, instead of learning now, I'm kind of building. So like I'm still learning, but I'm building more than I'm learning. Like how in the last one, I used to just be learning and building up on mental. This is now a lot more physical and money making. So yeah, I'll get you guys on the next one. I love you guys. Peace.